Hi, my name's Salt Dakota, and I've been talking about introducing the characters for my BL comic for quite a while now, but still not done it. After the animation meme I did, I took the drawing of Shun and added an environment to it. I then saw an opportunity to use the speed paint as a way to introduce Shun, so that's what I'm gonna do now. So who is Shun? Well, he's the love interest to my main character, Matthias. He was born in Osaka, Japan, and is 19 years old. He lacks social skills and is very reserved. He doesn't show a lot of emotions either, and uses a bike to get from A to B and jump from job to job. He ran away from his family's responsibilities since he only wants to live a normal life. As a kid, he was raised to be the heir for his father Yu's position as a leader. Yu didn't have time to raise his own son, and so he made his right-hand man do it for him. The right-hand man, or as I will call him from now on, the mentor, was rough towards Shun, and when Shun made too many mistakes, it resulted in punishments, which could go to the extreme sometimes, and is the cause of his scar on his eye, along other things. However, his mentor had an understanding of Shun's feelings towards his father and tried to explain to Shun why Yu couldn't make time with his son. Shun's relationship with his own father was too sour, and any attempts his mentor did to sweeten it fell short. Yu had many enemies as well, so Shun was also trained to stand a fight as well as handle different weapons in combat. Once one of these enemies tried to attack the family, Shun took it as a chance to run away. He then found work in different countries all over Europe. He saved up to afford a motorcycle. Then after a few months, he made it to Halmstad, Sweden, where he got a job as a bartender. His lack of social skills were a withdrawal, but he made it up with his good looks and efficiency at brewing drinks. They also saved a lot on him working under the table. Shun has gone through quite a change throughout the years. Same as Matthias. He was first Korean and had a very generic and boring name, as well as a very boring look. His outfits were taken straight out of Pinterest photos, and with that I mean that the whole outfit was from one single photo and not different meshed together. The only original thing with his outfit was his shoes, which was based on some I wore at the time. He was reserved even then, but didn't have the fire in him like this version of him has. And it didn't balance well when Matthias was also very reserved and anxious and just kind of boring as well. It made for a very stale dynamic between them. The development on Shun has also been very slow, mostly because I didn't have an idea of who he really was until recently. He just morphed into whatever I felt like at the time. In the more slice of life version of this comic, he was just gonna work at the restaurant, become better than Matthias, making Matthias be jealous of this. He was also gonna be obsessed with coffee, same as Felix, and they're gonna bond through that, and also help the restaurant with the financial parts, since in that part his family was business oriented and then he had like only been trained towards the financial stuff and not the other things like combat. How Shun and Matthias were gonna start liking each other weren't really thought of, nor the exploration of Shun as a person. He was more of an idea and just, as I said, morphed into whatever. This new version has a clearer motive and can adapt better to his surroundings. He's more fun to look at and has more depth towards him. He's more like Ash Lynx from Banana Fish than like a generic, boring, anxious anime character, I guess. I don't really know who I could compare him to. His hairstyle is also been quite difficult to figure out, because I'm more a person who likes to draw curly hair, since I also have curly hair. I wanted him to have the more straight hair, but it doesn't look really good in my art style, and so I kind of went a bit on the in-between. It's better than the previous ones, as you can see here. It's like, oh god, this is not looking good. I really like his new look, but I still need to figure out his outfit. I sketched him traditionally with a green shirt and really liked that combo, so that's definitely gonna stick. In the beginning of the comic, he's also gonna wear his bartender outfit, so I don't need to rush figuring out his normal fit yet. He also used to have red eyes, which I kind of stopped because I have other comics where I want to have vampires in them and I want them to have red eyes, so it kind of will get confusing and it doesn't really make sense since this is a very grounded comic. So I was like, I want to keep to the more traditional eyes. His tattoo is still the same as always. I might design my own tattoo at some time, but for now his canon tattoo is on his neck is this one, which is just something I found on Clip Studio's material catalog. You're gonna just have to accept that some materials are just from Clip Studio and that's just how it's gonna be. I don't have time to design all of this stuff because that's gonna take too much time. I'm not gonna do that for now. Over to talking about his design, like the drawing I did. It was fun to just take a drawing that I kind of did in a rush for this animation meme and just think, I could actually do a background for this. So I just slapped it into another tab and just started figuring out the shading, which was very basic shading, and then trying to find a background, just slapping something together. I found a camera material thing on Clip Studio. Love Clip Studio with its materials, and I just worked with that. Could have been better, but I was also like, I don't want to sit here doing this too much because I want to go back to the comic. Just adding a few details, and sometimes that's enough. This is very basic. Just used some brushes I found. A lot of great brushes I found. I'm very happy with this, and I'm happy that I finally managed to draw Shun after so long. And I really hope that you like this style of his and that you found this character interesting, because he is so much better now. Hopefully next character I'm gonna talk about is Lingao, which hasn't changed at all on his design almost since the beginning. He's been consistent, the only consistent character in the whole cast. He was a more prominent character in the Slice of Life comic, but now he's more of a supporting character, but he's still gonna have his time to shine, especially in the beginning, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna hopefully announce the first pages of my comic, because I finished the first page and I wanted to make the first 3 pages first and then post those at the same time, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm really happy with how the first page looks. I really hope that you will take your time to read it. I'm trying to avoid having too much text because I have dyslexia as well, and I think it's more challenging to tell a story with as little dialogue as possible than just pump a lot of it, especially like thoughts and stuff. It's gonna be very little thoughts inside their heads. Mostly I'm gonna try and rely on my art to tell you everything you need to know, and so I hope that sounds good and that it makes it less of a pressure to actually sit down and read it. I'm really happy with finally doing this, finally getting so close to just starting publishing and actually feeling like this isn't gonna flop and isn't gonna like, I'm not gonna stop after a few pages. So thank you for listening to this, and I hope you like this. Subscribe to me if you want to see more of this stuff. I hope you have a lovely day and that you made some progress in whatever thing you did beside listening to this. And so I'll be seeing you soon. Bye!